Hey guys, here to review American Reunion. This film, I just got back from seeing it in theaters. It only came out today where I live. This was directed by John Hurwitz and Hayden Schlossberg, the same guys that were behind the Harold and Kumar franchise. Anyway, this film is about. Over a decade has passed, and Jim, Michelle Stifler, and their friends reunite in East Great Falls for their high school reunion. Uh, we have Jason Biggs returning as Jim Levinstein, Alison Hannigan as Michelle, Chris Klein as Oz, Thomas Ian Nicholas as Kevin, Sean William Scott as Stifler, and Eddie K. Thomas as Paul Finch. And I found this film to be, it was pretty good, pretty funny. It it had the same sort of feel as the previous three American Pie films. Um, I actually found this to be better than American Wedding, well, much better, in fact. In this film, you kind of expected something embarrassing or gross to happen to Stifler, just like in the first three films, but instead he did something. He embarrassed a group of high school kids with Jim, Kevin, and Oz. Basically, he pissed them off by shitting in their chili bin, and then he destroyed their jet skis. He found it funny, but it was actually pretty stupid knowing that he's an adult and that is the kind of thing a high school kid would do. um, you know, Stifler, he was funny in this film. He was still, he's still great. Sean William Scott still did a great job playing this completely rude, obnoxious douchebag, pretty much. Um, he's not as rude as he was in the first three films, but there's still, you know, the rudeness is still there. In this one he has a job working for some douchebag, as another douchebag who um bosses him around quite a bit and picks on him and all that. And you know, Kevin is married, and we know that Jim and Michelle are married, and now they have a kid called Evan. So yeah, he's 2 years old already in this film, and this is a, im- you know, I'm gonna go into some spoilers now. This is actually gonna be a pretty, this is pretty important in this film. So if some pretty important parts of the film and everything. So if I'd say leave the review now, because if you do not want to be spoiled before you see this film, if you don't want the film spoiled before you see it, um, we actually, they arrive in East Great Falls. They arrive at Jim's father's house. You know, him, him, Jim's dad and Jim's mother, they live together, of course, and she's dead now. She's passed away. It, it's been 3 years since she passed away and everything. And yeah, basically that's the thing here. I mean, yeah. So Anyway, his wife has passed, and then Jim basically tries to get him back out there and everything, and they take him to, Jim and Michelle take him to Stifler's party, his latest one, and basically it ends up with him be Jim being completely embarrassed, and Jim's dad all drunk and high and everything, and he ends up escaping out the window because the police came to arrest Finch because he had stolen a motorcycle from his boss, as he explains later at the high school reunion after he's been bailed out. Uh, and yeah, I'm not going to spoil the whole movie here, so those are some pretty you know I've you know yeah, and also Nadia, she appears for maybe a minute or so, and then they, she leaves. They don't. She has a very small part in this film. Um, but in American Pie and American Pie 2, she was there through half the movie or the whole movie or something. Well, for about half the movie, I'd say. Um, yeah, so if you like the first three American Pie films, I'd say check this out. It's a great film. I really enjoyed it. American Reunion definitely worth seeing in theaters. Anyway, that's all I gotta say. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Subscribe. Stay tuned for more reviews. Peace.